Welcome back to Machine Universe, your front row seat to the power of machines and the spirit of industry. Here, craftsmanship meets innovation, where old world skill joins modern precision. Few industries shape North America like the lumber trade. Since the 1600s, forests have built more than homes. They built a nation. Among its oldest names stands Freeman Lumber. Founded in 1832, this Nova Scotia family mill has survived wars, recessions, and revolutions in technology, all while staying true to quality and care. The story of lumber begins deep in the forest, long before the roar of saws and conveyor belts. Before neat stacks of boards fill the yard, men and machines must first conquer the woods. This is logging, the first and most vital link in the lumber chain. Today's operations rely on million-dollar machines, not axes and hand saws. At the heart of it stands the Tiger Cat Harvester, a $1.2 million powerhouse. Its hydraulic head grips, cuts, and strips a tree in seconds while onboard computers measure every log's diameter and length. One skilled operator controls it all with joysticks and screens, a far cry from the hand-hewn labor of centuries past. When Freeman Lumber began in 1832, forests rang with axes, not engines. Crews felled trees one by one, hauling them out with horses or oxen, then floating logs down icy rivers during spring thaws. These river pigs risked their lives balancing on rolling logs to keep the timber moving. From those perilous beginnings, Freeman Lumber grew with the industry, its early boards sawn by water-powered mills and shipped south to fuel America's booming growth. Nearly 2 centuries later, that spirit of hard work and innovation still drives the trade. Nearly 2 centuries later, harvesting has transformed beyond recognition. Once the harvester fells and cuts the trees, the forwarder, a $600,000 engineering marvel, takes over. Instead of dragging logs across the ground like in the old days, it uses a long hydraulic grapple to lift each trunk cleanly and stack it on its bunk. Massive low-pressure tires glide over rough terrain, protecting the forest floor while delivering straighter, cleaner timber. In the past, horses, steam donkeys, and later cable lines and railroads hauled wood through the wilderness, boosting production but scarring the land. Today's machines do the opposite: power with precision, efficiency with sustainability. At the roadside landing, a $300,000 loader takes command. Its steel grapple lifts each log with mechanical grace, stacking them evenly on waiting trailers. Chains and bars lock the heavy load in place before the truck, often a Kenworth or Western Star, rolls out toward the mill. For generations, these moving towers of spruce, pine, and fir have symbolized the bond between forest and town. From river drives to rail cars to 18-wheelers, the journey continues. The same mission carried by new machines. Every log is carefully weighed, measured, and tracked. Diameter, length, and species are recorded so nothing goes to waste. Large logs become structural lumber, smaller ones are chipped into pulp or engineered wood, and bark is used for mulch or fuel. Efficiency and sustainability now define modern forestry. It wasn't always so. In the 1800s, clear-cutting devastated forests across North America. Towns flourished, but the woods disappeared. Hard lessons led to new laws requiring replanting. Today, both the U.S. and Canada grow more wood each year than they harvest. Proof that forestry has become a renewable industry. Freeman lumber has lived through that evolution, from hand saws to electric harvesters. Through wars, depressions, and growth, its timber has built ships, homes, and bridges. Now, machines worth millions carry on the legacy. The harvester grips and cuts, the forwarder stacks and hauls, the loader lifts each log into place. Every step demands precision, investment, and care. As the final truck roars away, the story turns from forest to mill, where raw logs become the beams, boards, and floors that build our world. The story of lumber truly comes alive the moment the logs reach the mill yard. After their long journey from the forest, towering high on the trailers, they arrive at the threshold of transformation, where raw timber meets steel and motion, and the forest begins its rebirth as finished lumber. The process begins with unloading. Powerful log loaders lift massive trunks and place them carefully onto the feed deck. Here, the logs are separated and aligned to ensure a steady flow into the debarking system. At Freeman's facility, 2 high-speed debarkers run continuously, using rotating steel rings to strip away the bark in seconds, revealing the clean wood beneath. Even the bark doesn't go to waste. The bark is removed and repurposed as biomass fuel or landscaping mulch, while also protecting saw blades from damage. Once debarked, logs move through high-tech scanners that measure diameter, length, and curvature. Using this data, the system automatically sorts each log to ensure maximum yield. Where sawyers once depended on skill and intuition, modern sensors and software now handle the job with speed and accuracy. From the bins, logs move to the head rig, scanned and rotated for precise cutting. The debarking head squares each log, and conveyors carry the trim pieces to the board edger, where they're cut into usable boards. Nothing wasted. Then 2 massive 2,000 horsepower bandsaws slice through the wood, their flexible blades following natural curves to reduce waste and produce straighter boards. As the lumber exits, scanners sort it again, keeping production fast and efficient. Cutting is only half the journey. Each board is scanned by AI to read the grain, spot knots, and plan precise cuts for maximum value. Defects are trimmed away and strong boards move on. A massive sorter groups them by length and grade before they're stacked with spacers for drying. Inside the kilns, heat removes moisture, preventing warping and cracks. Once dried, boards are strapped, labeled, and fully traceable from forest to shipment. Where men once worked by instinct beside roaring saws, machines now bring speed and safety, carrying forward the same purpose: turning trees into the wood that builds our world. At the pine plant, the focus shifts from strength to beauty. Lumber here is crafted for appearance, turned into high-value, smooth, and stable boards. Forklifts feed bundles to conveyors, where boards are aligned and dried to about 10% moisture. An 8-head molder, guided by a Cognex gamma system, shapes all 4 sides, while AI scanners inspect knots and grain in real time to ensure every board meets premium standards. Stacking and packaging follow with equal care. Boards are spaced for airflow, tagged for traceability, and wrapped for protection. The plant also makes patterned lumber for wall paneling, carved with precision and checked for consistency before shipping across North America. At the planer mill, kiln-dried boards are planed at speeds up to 2,000 feet per minute, then scanned, trimmed, and sorted into bundles for shipment. Since 1832, Freeman Lumber has evolved from hand tools to AI-driven machines, maintaining its commitment to quality while expanding into engineered wood. Stronger, smarter materials shaping the future of construction. From the roar of saws to the hum of high-tech machines, we enter a new era: engineered wood. In Germany, Pohlmeier has transformed beech logs into Baobu, a laminated veneer lumber that's stronger, more stable, and more sustainable than traditional timber. Logs sourced within 200 kilometers are kept moist, debarked, cut, and softened in heating basins. Then, like a giant pencil sharpener, a peeling machine spins each log against a blade, slicing a continuous 3.5 millimeter veneer ribbon, using nearly the entire tree with no waste. Veneers are dried, trimmed, glued, and pressed under heat and pressure into solid boards. From these, Pohlmeier crafts beams, panels, and furniture components that rival steel and concrete in strength. Once overlooked, beech has been reborn as a high-performance material, a testament to innovation and sustainability. From traditional sawmills to advanced presses, the story of wood continues, proving this ancient resource still shapes the future. The next stage of our journey takes us into the world of veneer production, where solid hardwood logs are transformed into thin, elegant sheets used in fine furniture, plywood, and engineered wood. It's a perfect balance of craftsmanship and technology, designed to capture every ounce of value from each log. Fresh from the yard, massive logs are trimmed to precise lengths and stripped of bark, which is reused as mulch or fuel. The clean logs are then steamed in giant vats of hot water, softening the fibers and preparing them for slicing. On the peeling lathe, the transformation begins. Each log spins against a razor-sharp blade, unrolling into continuous ribbons of veneer just millimeters thick. Depending on how it's cut, the grain reveals stunning patterns, from straight and uniform to beautifully figured. The veneers then move through powerful dryers where moisture is carefully reduced. Once dried, they're trimmed, graded, and sorted, with premium sheets chosen for outer layers and others forming strong inner cores. Finally, each stack is labeled and shipped, traceable from forest to finish. Veneer production is where precision meets artistry, giving new life to wood and proving that craftsmanship still thrives in modern industry. In the quiet heart of Austria, Lean Harzberger stands as a model of balance, a mid-sized sawmill where tradition and steady efficiency work hand in hand. The machines aren't flashy, but they're built to last, operated by craftsmen who know the rhythm of spruce and fir like a second language. The place feels timeless, iron frames, smooth humming blades, and workers who move with calm confidence. Everything begins in the log yard. Trucks arrive loaded with spruce and fir from Manage Alpine Forest. Each log is unloaded, debarked, and neatly stacked. Even the bark is reused, chipped into biomass fuel or mulch, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Clean logs move to the cross-cut saws, where heavy steel blades trim them to exact lengths. Accuracy matters more than speed here. From there, the heart of the mill takes over. towering bandsaws slice through trunks with a steady, deliberate rhythm. Unlike highly automated mills in North America, Hartsberger relies on human instinct. Operators study the grain, adjust angles, and shape logs into cants and boards with practiced precision. Side slabs and offcuts are collected for chips or pellets, keeping the material cycle complete. Fresh boards head to the drying kilns where controlled heat and airflow remove moisture. What once took months in mountain air now takes only days, preventing warping and preparing the wood for building or fine finishing. Finally, the lumber is planed smooth, graded by skilled eyes and sorted by strength and appearance. Each bundle is strapped, labeled, and sent to market, carrying the story of careful workmanship. Lean Hartsberger may not chase full automation, but it proves that precision, tradition, and steady craftsmanship remain the true markers of efficiency. Here, technology supports people, not the other way around. From Leon Hardsberger's sawmill, where rough logs are sliced into solid boards, we now enter another fascinating chapter of the wood industry: veneer production. Instead of cutting thick beams and planks, this facility peels wood into ultra-thin sheets used to make plywood, decorative panels, and fine furniture. Forklifts deliver the logs to the production line, where they're automatically debarked and cleaned, ready for the precision work ahead. Each log is then centered and aligned perfectly before entering the veneer lathe. As it spins at high speed, a razor-sharp blade shaves off a continuous ribbon of wood, revealing, layer by layer, the tree's history written in its grain. The delicate veneer strips glide along high-speed conveyors, trimmed by guillotine cutters into precise sheets and neatly stacked. Fragile yet strong, these thin layers will soon become plywood, furniture, or elegant wall panels, carrying the natural beauty of the forest into homes and workspaces. From deep woods to high-tech mills, this process blends tradition with innovation, uncovering the hidden artistry within every log and proving how woodworking continues to evolve with timeless grace. Together, they remind us of something timeless. While tools evolve, while machines grow smarter and techniques become more refined, the purpose of this work remains unchanged. It has always been, and will always be, about providing the materials that build our homes, our towns, and the very foundations of our everyday lives. Every beam, every board, every finished product carries the legacy of countless hands, decades of knowledge, and an unbroken chain of dedication that stretches across generations. As we wrap up this journey through the world of American wood and craftsmanship, we hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the people, machines, and environments that make it all possible. From the loggers working deep in the forest, to the truckers hauling massive loads across rugged terrain, to the skilled teams inside high-tech mills who shape raw timber into something strong, reliable, and ready for the world. Each step matters. Each step tells a story worth sharing. Thank you for spending your time with us exploring an industry where tradition meets innovation and where progress is built through precision, responsibility, and pride. If this video gave you a new look at the wood industries, or if you simply enjoyed the sights and sounds of these incredible machines, we'd love for you to stick with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mock Rush. Your support helps us continue traveling into forests, factories, workshops, and work sites across the globe to bring you more stories of machines, makers, and the hard-working industries that keep the world moving. Every view, every comment, and every click makes a real difference. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe out there, and keep your curiosity alive. This is Mock Rush, signing off but never done exploring. We'll see you again soon. Every board's journey begins deep in the forest. Tiger Cat and John Deere harvesters grip, slice, and bundle trees in seconds, precision at an industrial scale. Skidders drag the heavy loads across rugged terrain, and at the landing, The limber strip branches clean, leaving timber ready for transport. Each movement is calculated. Each machine plays its part, transforming nature's strength into American craftsmanship. Finally, the logs are stacked on roaring trucks, chains tightened and engines growling, as another shipment of southern yellow pine begins its journey to fuel America's future. From the quiet forest to the roar of diesel on the highway, log trucks roll toward Columns Lumber Products, where raw timber is reborn as the lumber that builds America.
We done had West Fraser. Yep, it backed up. If about 5 out here, that means it's about 6 more in the mill. All right now. Hop out.
Each truck hauling over 26 tons of southern yellow pine crosses the scale house where every pound is measured, vital for both loggers and mill operations. From there, logs move to the drop zone, lifted by massive hydraulic loaders and fed straight to the hot deck to keep production non-stop. Inside, the process starts with debarking. Spinning blades strip bark, dirt, and rock in seconds. Even the bark is reused as fuel or mulch, proving nothing goes to waste. Next, the merchandisers laser scan each log, mapping precise cuts to maximize value. Curved logs become shorter lumber. Straight ones may turn into utility poles or premium boards. Finally, the logs move to the primary breakdown, where they're sliced into cants and slabs. The first step in transforming nature's raw strength into the wood that shapes America. For logs up to 42 inches in diameter, the carriage saw is the go-to machine. Guided by laser scanners and a skilled operator, it makes precise cuts as slabs are peeled away. These slabs move to the horizontal resaw where they're sliced into 1 2-inch boards, while leftovers are turned into wood chips for pulp and paper. Nothing wasted. Smaller logs enter the double-length infeed and reducer twin, where chip heads and vertical saws cut two flat faces for balance. The sideboards head to the edger while the squared cant advances to the curve saw gang, a high-tech system that follows the natural curve of the wood to increase yield and preserve strength. Finally, during secondary breakdown, the edger squares rough boards, the trimmer cuts them to standard sizes, and any remaining material is recycled. It's a seamless blend of technology, precision, and craftsmanship, ensuring every log reaches its full potential. Boards that don't meet standards are sent back to the edger for recovery, while approved boards move forward to sorting, stacking, and kiln drying. Inside the automated sorter, robotic arms organize lumber by length, width, and thickness, building uniform bundles separated by thin spacers for airflow. Forklifts then carry the stacks to the drying kilns, where heated air carefully reduces moisture, ensuring the wood stays straight, strong, and stable. Once dried, boards enter the planer mill, where advanced machines smooth all four sides to precise dimensions, 2 AEO4s, 2 HEO6, and beyond. Automated scanners grade each piece, stamping its strength and quality certification before it's bundled, wrapped, and shipped to builders across America. Nothing is wasted here. Bark becomes fuel or mulch, sawdust feeds biomass plants, and wood chips supply paper mills. Even the kilns and planers run partly on solar energy from the company's on-site 924 kWh array. With over 200 local employees and roots dating back to the 1930s, Columns Lumber Products stands as a modern symbol of American craftsmanship and sustainability, transforming southern pine into the lumber that builds the nation. Each year, millions of board feet roll out of American mills. But the story of U.S. lumber doesn't end there. Beyond the South rises another frontier, the rugged mountains and vast forests of the Northwest. If towering columns represent the legacy of southern yellow pine, then the Idaho Forest Group stands as a symbol of the West. Power, scale, and innovation combined. With mills producing over 1 billion board feet annually, IFG ranks among America's largest lumber producers, driving both local communities and the national economy forward. But what does it take to manage the massive flow of timber from Idaho's endless forest? What kind of machines, technology, and vision can turn nature's raw strength into an industrial giant? Join us in the next chapter as we journey deep into the heart of Idaho's forest and step inside the cutting-edge facilities of Idaho Forest Group, where the future of American lumber is being forged today. High in the rugged mountains of the American Northwest, the story of lumber unfolds on a whole new scale. Here in Idaho, where forests stretch for millions of acres, the challenge isn't just cutting the trees. It's moving them across steep slopes, icy roads, and vast distances. Mechanical giants command this landscape. Feller bunchers glide between towering firs and pines, gripping and slicing each tree in a single, powerful motion. The John Deere 648H speeds across the rough ground, dragging massive logs toward the landing site. Heavy-duty loaders equipped with grapples take over, stripping branches, cutting off the tops, and slicing the trunks into clean, even logs. With surgical precision, they stack the timber onto waiting trucks ready for transport. The legendary Kenworth W900, an icon of American logging, hauls massive Idaho timber down from the mountains to Idaho Forest Group's Chilco Mill north of Coeur d'Alene. Inside one of North America's largest and most advanced sawmills, scale is everything. Chilco alone produces nearly 280 million board feet a year, with IFG's total output topping 1 billion. The process begins at the weigh station, where each truck's load is measured with precision before the logs move on to their next transformation.
Let's see if this thing reaches all the way across the trailer. Sawmill again, and he needed a custom order of long logs for a project he had, and I just happen to have a clearing project going on. So
these log decks represent more than inventory. They stand for stability, ensuring production continues even when winter storms close the mountain roads. Logs move to the debarker, where spinning knives and chains strip away bark, dirt, and ice. At IFG, modern ring debarkers dominate this stage, keeping equipment clean, reducing blade wear, and improving scanning accuracy. Even the bark is reused as biomass fuel, ensuring nothing goes to waste. After debarking, laser scanners create 3D models of each log. Optimization software decides the best cutting pattern for maximum recovery. Large logs move to the head rig saw, where the first cuts produce rough cants and flitches. But flare reducers remove irregular bases, improving consistency and material flow. Next, cants and flitches enter resaws and gang saws, where multiple blades cut precise boards in a single pass. Curve sawing systems follow each log's natural shape, boosting yield and minimizing waste. Every cut is guided by digital precision rather than intuition. Boards leaving the saw line often have rounded edges or bark. Automated edgers scan and trim them into square, clean lumber. Offcuts are chipped for pulp or biomass fuel. Laser-guided trimmers then cut boards to exact lengths, removing defects and ensuring only top-grade lumber continues forward. Finally, boards are automatically sorted by size and grade, stacked layer by layer with spacers for airflow, and moved to the yard for drying. Inside IFG's kilns, temperature and humidity are carefully controlled to bring moisture below 19%. Proper drying prevents warping and cracking, keeping every board stable, strong, and ready for construction. The dried lumber is then planed smooth, graded and prepared for shipment, ready to become part of something built to last. Advanced curve sawing technology allows the blades to follow the natural curvature of each log, increasing recovery and minimizing waste. Every pass is guided by real-time scanning data. Unlike older mills where sawyers relied on instinct, modern IFG mills depend on optimization software to extract the highest value from every tree. Boards leaving the gang saw often carry rounded edges or bits of bark. They move to the edger where scanners analyze each board and automatically position the saws. In a fraction of a second, the edges are trimmed, producing clean, square lumber ready for the next step. The side strips are sent to chippers, turned into pulp chips for paper or biomass fuel. Laser-guided trimmers analyze each board for length, defects, and grade before cutting them to precise dimensions. This trimming line also serves as a second checkpoint. Boards that don't meet size or quality standards are marked and rerouted, ensuring only top-grade lumber continues forward. clean boards then move to the automated sorter separated by thickness, width, and length, before being stacked layer by layer with spacers for airflow. Forklifts carry the green packs to the yard, preparing them for kiln drying. Dry packs move to the planer mill, one of IFG's most advanced stages. Rough boards pass through high-speed planers that smooth every surface for a uniform finish. Automated graders with cameras and sensors inspect each piece, assigning grades based on strength and appearance. Every board is stamped and certified for structural integrity, ready for its specific marking. Packaging and distribution. Finished lumber is bundled, strapped with steel or plastic bands, and wrapped for protection. Each package carries IFG's logo and mill information, a mark of quality recognized worldwide. The bundles are then loaded onto rail cars and trucks, shipping across the U.S. and to global markets. Scale and impact. With mills in Chilco, Moyie Springs, Laclede, Lewiston, Grangeville, and Athol, IFG produces over 1 billion board feet of lumber each year, combining advanced technology, scale, and craftsmanship to power the wood industry forward. Standing among North America's leading lumber producers, Idaho Forest Group, IFG, is a cornerstone of the state's economy, supporting over 16,000 forestry jobs and sustaining rural communities. From loggers cutting timber in steep mountain terrain to truck drivers hauling heavy loads and mill operators running advanced equipment, every role keeps the wood industry moving. Even byproducts like chips, bark, and sawdust are repurposed for paper, biomass energy, and landscaping, ensuring nothing goes to waste. IFG invests heavily in automation, scanning systems, and optimization technology, allowing the company to produce more usable lumber from fewer trees while reducing environmental impact. Working with state and federal agencies, IFG promotes healthy forests through responsible harvesting, fuel reduction, and replanting programs. Inside mills across Idaho, high-precision laser scanners, curve saws, edgers, and automated planers turn raw logs into perfectly graded boards, over 1 billion board feet each year. Conveyors, sensors, and robotics streamline nearly every step while skilled workers ensure safety and quality. Every machine, worker, and freight truck plays a role in a system built on precision, efficiency, and zero waste. A chain that begins in the forest and ends in homes and buildings across the country. From forest to freight car, IFG represents the scale, power, and innovation of America's modern lumber industry. From the southern pines of South Carolina to the towering forests of Idaho, the story of American lumber stretches across vast landscapes and generations. It begins in the quiet shade of longleaf pine stands, hardwood river bottoms, and the immense Douglas firs that dominate the Northwest. Through changing tools, changing markets, and changing times, the industry has continued to evolve, always finding new ways to blend tradition with progress. At Columns Lumber Products in South Carolina, that balance is on full display. This fourth-generation family mill carries decades of heritage while embracing modern efficiency. Skilled operators work alongside scanners, computerized saw lines, and precision kilns, producing nearly 200 million board feet of lumber each year. Every board that leaves the mill reflects a mix of experience, careful craftsmanship, and updated technology. Across the country, in the rugged timberlands of the Intermountain West, the Idaho Forest Group represents the cutting edge of the industry. Their operations use advanced automation, high-speed optimization, and real-time data systems to turn out more than 1 billion board feet annually. Even at this scale, their focus remains on responsible forestry, long-term sustainability, and investing in workers and communities.